Well, here's the first onslaught of insults.
Alright. Oh, I guess I'm already...
I mean, if you wanted, you could take her last statement as fairly aggressive too. But this is pretty aggressive. Okay, the little victim here, Orphan Annie, Red. Poor little victim. Mr. Grimm, you're the most unscientific lunatic I've met so far today. Science is conducted to test the null hypothesis. In this case, that the Earth is a globe. Data forces me to reject the globe. That's all she wants to say. Right? I just said, what's your... She just said the Earth was flat, though. She made a claim. The Earth was flat. I said, what's your best evidence that the Earth is flat? And she said, don't you assume to know my model and la la la. I'm like, well, you tell me your best evidence then. I mean, what's your evidence? This, your model, your idea. What is it? I'm still waiting, and that's how it went down. And then now I'm a lunatic and everything. I'm a lunatic. Well, you may be right. Keep bouncing off of dumbasses like you. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, okay, well, you know, maybe somebody's going to be fair and reasonable finally, right? Someone's going to tell me what their model actually is. Instead of hiding behind invisible ad hoc, it could be anything. You tell me first. You know, rock, paper, scissors, you tell me what you did first. Rock, paper, or scissors. You know, it's like, you know, it's not... Same time, dude. So... She really pissed me off, telling me I was fucking, you know, da-da-da-da. She trolled me. She intentionally pissed me off. So, what did I say? Orphan Red, really? Hold on, I wasn't reading that out there. Unscientific lunatic I've met today, blah, blah, blah.
You gotta refresh it.
So, yeah. She's brought nothing but ad hom. I'm open for the debate, but I'm the non-scientific one? For fuck's sake, get a life. That's not too bad. It's not really too bad. I just did it by a negation. I'm the unscientific one? Because it's to negate her claim. So, and her videos are shit. They look like they're feeding the psychosis of poor people who don't understand physics properly. It almost looks like she knows she's lying when she does this shit. I read that off of that shit. So then she rejects the null hypothesis because the data requires me to. You don't even test the null. You unscientifically argue against flat Earth, as if that anything she just said was true. If that's all true, then you don't mind pointing out exactly what you're talking about, because you're making a pretty arbitrary statement and you're not saying anything. You're just saying, you're probably dumb. That's why you're wrong. It's like, no, you got to make sure you point out exactly what it is that... If you're going to make a statement about somebody like that, you know, be prepared to have to defend your statement, sweetheart. So I told her videos were shit. Maybe even poop. Maybe something like that. I told her I could show her every single one of her misrepresentations on an open hangout. Then here's the plea to emotions. I'm just being me, you know, just trying to be creative and free, you know, just innocent and stuff. That's the plea to the emotions to the crowd. This is a skilled troll bitch right here. And then yeah, this crap, me saying your shit's like poop. Yeah, I'm just being funny right at this point, because I really doubt she wants to try in a debate. So I have to dumb myself down looking a little, so she'll feel more confident to join this debate. Now I'm baiting her, obviously. And people are probably thinking, Graham, why did you say poop? Why are you being immature? So she can think that if she's gonna dominate me in a debate, and then I can get her in there. Otherwise, in the beginning, she wouldn't have joined. Talking about if you're so against flat Earth. Yeah, it's just anything but talk about see how she deflects? I said, give me your best evidence. Now she wants to talk about Mr. Grimm. Also, if you're so against flat Earth, why are you unhappy? Why aren't you happy my videos are shit? Right? That kind of stuff. Just put the focus back on her channel and her videos and promoting her. Instead of, yeah, let's talk about the actual data. What do you have? There's no way I'm giving you attention and time on my channel. Yeah, because you saw the first question I had you couldn't answer. Cop out. AIK. Cop out. He saw that. Calling me a troll. Give trolls attention on my channel. As if I'm a troll. Yeah, sure. Look at my channel. See all the work I do against big pharma, big agro, big oil, big religion, big government. Call me a troll. That's exactly what you were supposed to do, you shill. That's your job. To call people trolls that are actually real truthers. Exposing your bullshit. So you're gonna enjoy this. So you see, this engagement started in the chat where she. Just want to say hello real quick to everybody showing up to the show. We got experimental vaccines, Mark, Josh, Free OK, Agent Sin, Marie, Denise. Hi, Denise. Who else do we have? I Spy, Brown Dwarf, and that's everybody, I think. I hope I didn't miss anybody. But what am we gonna do? What's the topic of discussion? Right now, I'm just messing around, showing some of the dishonesty with some of these people in conversations that I've had in the past. I think it's kind of funny, actually, to be honest. And then not to stir up any old shit, but this is that day when Tim Osmond was in the chat white knighting for Orphan Red. You guys didn't get a real chance to see what was up with that or anything. A lot of people were told that I was picking on Orphan Red and all that funny stuff, and it was obviously not that, as is in this case. You can see from the very beginning of this video, she started off calling me a lunatic. I was never rude to her before. So it's just one of those things where, you know, so what, right? It's calling me a lunatic. Wah, wah, wah. That's not, I don't care. But if anybody's keeping up with this, they understand it's not as petty as it all sounds in reality. There's a clear agenda to knock down people who are putting out good information and promoting good information. You think my audio went off? Man, that's messed up. It's always doing that. I hope it's on. Alright, so should be working. It says it's at 100 there. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I just don't want to be yelling. I'm like, if I get louder, then it turns itself down, and then you can't hear me. Usually because I cough in it or something, it goes down. Bet you. Alright, let's see. Big rip, sorry about that. Alright, I'm gonna hit the play button. Just want to say hey to everybody, so I didn't see, you know, like, I was ignoring you guys or whatnot. That sucks. Nobody likes to be ignored, man. Like sexy boy, some homo. Yeah, that's funny. I appreciate that though. Can't say as I hate it. All right. He was already trying to discredit people, only using ad hom, avoiding the argument, being very aggravating and insulting. She was the one who was insulting no one insulted her. She insulted me. So I still haven't really insulted her, only her videos, her channel. because they are shit. I mean, if you look at it, you see it's just dumb parroting shit. Nothing. She doesn't understand what she's talking about.
I think I almost said democracy. Dumbocracy.
So basically, she's like, I tell her, Orphan Red, either debate or shut it. I mean, you can sit there and say all kinds of stuff, but you're not gonna debate somebody that you said was idiotic. You should easily be able to defeat the idiotic, guy. Then, right? So she defines trolls as people who are meanly arguing for something, even though they don't even know enough to say whether it's right or wrong, and present insults instead of logic. And isn't that exactly what she was doing? Look, right here. Mr. Grimm, she's a first insult slinger. She's the one flinging the poop. Mr. Grimm, you're the most unscientific lunatic I've met so far today. Science is conducted to test and know blah 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 blah. You're an unscientific lunatic. Okay? Let's remember that you started the fucking poop throwing, you little twat. And then a troll like... okay, that's the third time you called me a troll. Yeah? Call me a troll. I do more for the people than you ever could. And I'm the troll. That's some rude bitch shit right there. I'm like, yes, GED, I'm in. Let's do this debate.
Flat Earth with me. I'm watching shit looking flat Earth. Sexist, man. Oh no. God.
Mr. Grimvee is too sexist. You mean he's sexy? And you're jealous, John. Sexist is to expect it just because she's a woman, you have to treat her completely different. It's really the opposite. Everybody is equal, right? Isn't that what everybody wanted? You treat me like shit, I'll treat you like shit back. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. It would be sexist to let her get away with it. Wouldn't it? By pure definition of the word. So you need to understand what you're saying there, John Twatson. Bigfoot activity, what do you mean? That's how she manipulates people in the first place. She's being sexist. Using a little squeaky ass fake voice, a little girl's voice. What is that? What is she trying to appeal to some pedophiliac or something? That's annoying to me. When I hear that, I know a girl's trying to manipulate when I hear that. It's a fake bullshit act.
I've never spoke with you, Isa. I've never spoke with you, man.
Oh yeah, he's such a fucking PR specialist, isn't it? I can love everybody. Yeah, I think everybody's great. Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Fucking liar, so fucking liar, such a liar.
So if you just hold on a minute, all
Can't
I'm doing
stand
is I'm
fake
going
people.
over the chat first so you can see what was happening in the chat before the debate started. And you could see how
Oh,
how
bless your heart.
this Orphan Red was being so rude and ridiculous in the chat, and then came on to the show to try and set the stage as if she's gonna be the rule setter and the bigger man and the more behaved one, you know. And so this is why I was just pointing it out, because she was being a complete freaking, you know. Yeah, I do. I get a little bit.
Though, yeah, Grim V is the one that's horrible to women. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I get a little bit triggered, you know. But I'm not really
She
triggered.
made sure I knew that was sarcasm, Mr. Grimm, okay? So you
These
don't hurt
people are
my
being
feelings.
friendly in the chat to
Because
me.
I'm
They're
obviously
seeing
not
her
horrible to
being a
women.
clown.
There's just particular women that deserve what they get. That's all. I'm fucking amazing to women. I mean, look at all the women in my life. You gotta be crazy to say that dumb shit.
Women are amazing. I got a lot of women in
I don't
my life.
mean girlfriends, women in my life, but just women in my life in general. Got a lot of them here.
They're all my girlfriend's women and her family. They're all women.
Mostly on my girlfriend's side of the deal.
There I am.
Moms and sisters and shit like that. Anyway. Just waiting on Orphan. So I'll end up fast forwarding probably through this. And we'll be waiting for Orphan for a minute. Oh. Okay, she said send me the link in a few minutes. Trying to
Hey, Dad.
so you see, even though you know she was extremely rude, calling me a lunatic and all kinds of names, you still see I haven't called her any names, right? And then watch how I treat and open the conversation with her. First, watch how I bust her out in her shit, like when she comes in trying to preset the stage as if for everyone to have expected something like like she's setting the rules, like she's the high horse, you know what I mean? The pecking order. It's a psychological game. I mean, I picked right up on it. I don't like that kind of shit. That's very manipulative, treating the viewers as if they're actually kindergarten kids. Everybody watching. That's how she's treating you when she's acting like that. She's totally manipulating. It's disgusting. So, I pointed out immediately, like, that's gonna have to stop. You're gonna have to cut that shit out with that. You'll hear it. Watch. I don't even have to say anything.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Oh, great. Better than average. How about you, brother?
Good, man. Good. Just nice and crisp, clear.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
So what's your?
Well, it's not every day a flat earther actually joins the debate.
I know that's amazing. So who's this?
Yeah, so I'm excited because I never get to hear. Hi, Orphan. Never got to meet you yet.
Oh, shit.
Or Alex. Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah, it's hard to get. Whoops. We lost one.
I think she joined with her real name.
Yeah, well, that's a dox for sure. Just kidding. Who cares? Right? Who cares? I'll mark you down. It's not a big deal.
So that's a new piece of information. Orphan's real name's Alex.
Well, I wasn't going to even say it, and I'm the one debating her.
So what's the disagreement you've got with Orphan?
Oh, really? I'm not even sure yet. Well, I know it's about the shape of the Earth,
Uh-huh.
but the problem is I was just wanting for can you please demonstrate to me what your favorite evidences are? At least one of them or something. If we're really having this conversation, just present one of the evidences that make you that brought you to the idea that the Earth is flat. So I can show you how you misrepresented the physics behind it.
Right. So I think she's maybe joined now. Who's this? Flat Earth. Hello? How you doing? Can you speak? Flat Earth? Well, I'll just let them sit there till they speak. I'll wait till Orphan Red turns up.
That's better. Now I'm not arguing your real person. I'm arguing the damn persona that I've been arguing with the whole time. Okay, seriously, we weren't really arguing yet because no one threw any evidences back and forth. It was more of an ad hom, game where you're just dumb because you believe in everything that everyone else tells you kind of thing, and that's so arbitrary and ridiculous that how do we even start an argument with that?
So was it more?
I started the conversation with "Show me your evidence."
Was it more of an argument about logic then?
Box of ad hom attacks and shit, like you're gonna slay my argument with ad hom or something. But never mind. I am willing to get this debate started, or at least the conversation. I don't know what kind of format you want to put it in, Orphan, but I want to continue repeat.
Please? Because
Yeah, I just want to repeat my original question. Can you please present me with your best?
So I missed all the audio. So you'll have to restate that. Sorry.
Okay, no big deal. Can you present me with your best evidences for the flat Earth, please?
Okay, so again, for like the 100th time, as I always say, I don't push the flat Earth. My argument isn't about proving the flat Earth. My argument is about disproving the globe model.
That's sorry. That doesn't work.
That's the scientific
Can you tell me your best argument to disprove the globe model? Either way, that's okay.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say hello to everyone. How's my audio?
You sound fine, Orphan. Sounds good.
Perfect. And yeah, so I'm happy to do this, but I do want it to be civil. I do want it to be polite. I don't want to get off the bat all defensive. So
Okay, all right. Did I somehow give you the impression that it was going to be uncivil?
well, yes, because you're already interrupting me, and two, because I caught something about you were arguing with my persona now, not my real person, when I switched accounts.
Yeah, I didn't want to say your real name on air after seeing it.
That's my real name.
I didn't know if it mattered to you because I was trying to be polite, Orphan. So again, you're trying to demonize me for doing something good. So that's a little strange. Continue.
Okay, so
Continue.
again,
Remember,
For
she had
me,
already been calling me a
this
lunatic
has
and
to
stuff
be
for
fun and
no
enjoyable.
reason.
And if it's not enjoyable,
Remember, she'd
if it's
already
just
been
me
calling me a
bashing you
lunatic.
and you bashing me, or me trying to humiliate you by showing people that you're
Yeah,
stupid.
we don't have to set the stage for that. We can just start acting civil to each other, right?
Me trying to humiliate you by showing people that you're stupid. Is that what she just said, right?
Let's not
Check that
act
out.
like we're going to have to fight. Let's not do that.
She's like,
Let's just
she's starting the
move
fight.
forward as adults without having to mention all of the if you threaten me, then I threaten you back stuff. And just continue on. No, we don't need to do this. What you're doing right now, and it's obvious. So just stop it. Just talk about the facts. That's it. Let's do that.
Okay, so first of all, telling me to shut up, telling me to stop it, talking over me, not allowing me to say anything in response.
Did I say shut up?
That's not a good start. I think it makes sense to define the boundaries of the conversation before we have it. And so for me, I don't want this to be about me trying to humiliate you by showing everyone how stupid you are, and I don't want it to be about you trying to humiliate me by trying to show how stupid I am.
See how she
Because I
worded
don't
that?
see that as fun. I know that there are some trolls that really find that kind of
Now, did you see how she worded that? That was very passive aggressive, and it was an insult, and she's getting off on thinking she's smarter than us with getting away with throwing out insults and then trying to get away with it. That was her whole intent in the beginning. So it's to antagonize and try to gain a power over, as the professor to the teacher relationship over a person. Well, see, I don't fall for that junk, and she's not smart enough for any of that. She can't even try to attempt it properly. Get back in the house, kid. So, I'll let you hear it one more time for the people who might not have caught what she just did. Now, No, listen she's to well the into her 30s. She's condescending, older than 19, man.
What she
She's
just
using a
said.
baby squealy voice.
when I switched accounts.
Yeah, I didn't want to say your real name on air after seeing it.
That's my real name.
I didn't know if it mattered to you because I was trying to be polite, Orphan. So again, you're trying to demonize me for doing something good. So that's a little strange. Continue.
Okay, so again, for me, this has to be fun and enjoyable. And if it's not enjoyable, if it's just me bashing you and you bashing me, or me trying to humiliate you by showing people that you're
Yeah,
stupid.
we don't have to set the stage for that. We can just start acting civil to each other, right? I mean, you're saying, well, if you're going to rape me or if you're going to do this, let's not go there. Let's not act like we're going to have to fight. Let's not do that. Let's just
It's like you're already
move
doing
forward as adults without having to mention all of the if you threaten me, then I threaten you back stuff. And just continue on. No, we don't need to do this. What you're
She's
doing.
doing anything but the
So
argument.
just stop it.
Trying to
Just
set
talk
the
about
stage and
facts.
be
That's
the
it.
boss
Let's do
and
that.
tell people how to
Okay, so,
behave. And,
first of all,
like, none of that's
telling me to shut
necessary.
up,
She's
telling
the
me to
one
stop
acting
it,
like a
talking
fool
over
in
me,
the
not
chat.
allowing me to say anything
She's
in
the one calling
response.
people ad
That's not a
hom
good
names
start. I think
and
it
all
makes
kind of
sense
stuff,
to
never
define
getting
the
to the
boundaries
point.
Of the conversation
So,
before we have it.
That's all
And
I'm
so
trying
for
to
me,
say. She doesn't need to be
I don't
doing
want
all
this
that.
to be about me trying to humiliate you by showing everyone how stupid you are, and I don't want it to be about you trying to humiliate me by trying to show how stupid I am, because I don't see that
Did
as
you hear
fun.
it?
I that there are some trolls that really find that kind of thing.
Can I stop you right there, Orphan? Because you're being passive aggressive.
So, I would be trying to show how stupid she is, but she would be showing how stupid I am. Did everyone pick up on that? Okay, and then she's gonna play victim after this. So every single bit of anything condescending that comes from me after that isn't initiated. I didn't initiate it. That's the point here. And so, no, you don't have to be all kiss ass to somebody who's being a fucking condescending twat to you. Tim Osmond, you little dork. What the fuck is wrong with you? Tripping on acid, coming on somebody's show, talking all kind of dumb shit, playing Captain Savo. Since then, we've squashed it, but still.
Though, man. You're a GMO lover and a vaccine advocate. You're a damn shill too, just like her, dude. Boom.
You just said trying to show how stupid you are, and then showing how stupid I am. You know, we caught that over here. That's passive aggressive. Can you stop now and just talk about the facts? Can we just have the conversation at hand without all of the extra pre-setting the stage stuff that you're doing?
Well,
it's boring, really. It's regular. You're not doing what you're saying that you want. You're actually attacking me while you're setting the parameters of no attack. Yeah, but it's passive aggressive bullshit. You got to stop, hun.
You're
attacking me. Listen, you're gonna talk over me. Okay.
How is this fun for me to argue? I know that you guys like you, maybe.
Just start the conversation, please, hon, and start with the setting the stage stuff and trying to make it seem like you're setting rules in here.
And whatnot.
You got the rules from GED and his hangout already. We were going to be polite. You're not being polite. By setting the stage and doing all this extra gish gallop about how people need to behave, you're misbehaving. Just so you know, that's what it is. Let's go to the combo, man. Let's forget all the bullshit. I can get along. I'm sure you can get along. So let's just get along.
Oh, that's the thing. I'm not sure I can get along with you. That's the problem here, that I'm already having.
The truth will prevail.
Right, guys. So we'll just start off. What's the indifference here that you have? Because obviously one of you are a Grim. I believe you're a globe earther, but electric universe kind of guy.
Yes.
And obviously Orphan Red believes the Earth's flat. So what's the difference? Is it the logic or the... Yep.
My channel is not about me believing the Earth is flat. My channel is about me rejecting the globe model. I don't say I believe the Earth is flat. I say I don't believe that the globe Earth is correct.
Right. So that's where you stand, right?
I'm not mad at you, Orphan. I'm just deflecting some of the tactics that you're pulling. That's all. And let's just be friendly, even if we're not trying to be friends or get along.
So what was the main disagreement in the chat?
So
Grim, what was the main disagreement in the chat?
I just wanted to see some evidence against the sphere. I mean, if she has it, then present it. That's all. And then she went to the ad hom, how I'm stupid and I believe everything everybody else says, and like I don't do the research, and just belittling and condescending, and it's literally the other way around. I can prove.
So what have you to say to that, Orphan?
If she would,
we'll let Orphan reply to that. Okay.
So is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay. So for me, what I see is that people believe the globe model, even though there is really insufficient evidence for it. What there is there's a lot of math and physics that people will accept without having the ability to evaluate it for themselves. They'll still accept it as true because someone that they think is smart told them that it's true. So when it comes down to what you...
Boy, I sure wanted to interrupt her right there because that was condescending. You're assuming that I just listened to someone else and didn't do anything myself to know what I'm talking about, and you're projecting that.
What a sneaky
bitch!
That's
a sublimation of what you do and why you're where you are, honey. And I wanted to say that, but did I? No.
You yourself can verify, and what I see is people believe that the Earth is a globe, and the reasons that they give aren't supportable. So people, for example, will
She just said that.
disappearing bottom first over the horizon, and that proves to them that the Earth is a globe.
She's straw manning right now. I'm supposed to be debating with her. She's pulling it away into a straw man argument about what people will say. Who can deny that? There's people that will say anything. I don't know who those people are. They're not me. We're talking about our debate, Sweetness.
But the problem with that is that boats aren't disappearing over the curvature at 3 miles out. First of all, if they were, the Earth would be an itty-bitty ball. For boats to just disappear like that, you would actually have to see curvature left to right if you were seeing curvature ahead of you at 3 miles out. Secondly, you can bring a zoom lens to the beach, and you can look at a boat and watch the bottom of the boat disappear beyond the...
You realize she just made that math up, right? Like, she just made that up. No one said a boat disappears over the horizon at 3 miles out. That's what we argue against, us ballers. We're saying that's resolution. The camera is down to 1 pixel, and the damn boat has disappeared out of resolution. It is still on the horizon. It is not over the horizon. So she's misrepresenting the very first straw man argument she even makes, right? And I wanted to point that out because this was supposed to help her be able to realize her misuse of logic and stuff. This wasn't for anything else. I saw somebody who looked like they actually might be able to be explained. You might be able to explain something simple to them. And I was totally incorrect because I was a lunatic. She already made her established statements in the chat before we ever got here, right? And I was still being polite to her. So again, now you're going to see that she just totally misrepresented what the argument actually is in the first place. No, Globers don't say the boat disappears over the horizon at 3 miles out. That's a lie. Complete lie. We can see the top of the horizon from 3 miles. 2.98 miles, we see the very top of the horizon. So anything that's still at 2.98 miles, we still see the full thing. Nothing's missing of it yet. Sorry, that's not our argument. You need to learn the math. You can tell she doesn't understand what she's talking about. She's seeing the wrong models, the wrong perspectives when she puts these thoughts in her head. And that's the sad part. So anyway, I didn't get to say that, but here we go.
Curvature, and then you can zoom in and you can see it reappear.
Okay, can we stop at that one point of evidence right there? We'll go point by point.
Let me that one point of evidence, and then you can rebut it. So, to me, what's problematic with that is it has to do with vision and how your vision, the ground slopes up to the midpoint of your vision. And
see, we wouldn't even had to listen to her say all that dumb shit if we would have just let me talk for a second. 1 second. I would have told her what I just told you guys about that's not even our argument, and that nothing is missing yet at that spot. So to say that we're dumb and that the Earth would have to be a tiny little ball is a misrepresentation of our argument and a fallacy assumption on her part. And then all the rest of this eyeball stuff and the reason that happens at that distances and all this, wouldn't even have to listen to her at all, because that isn't true either. None of that shit is true that she's fixing to just blah, throw up very slowly in your ear.
So at that vanishing point, the ground at that 3 mile, let's say, on a flat level, right? So if you're on the ocean and you're watching a boat float away from you, at about 3 miles out, you'll start to see the bottom of the boat disappear. But that has to do with the light from the bottom of the boat and how it interacts with the lens on your eye to form an image. And it has very little to do with any actual curvature. And if you ask real scientists, they'll actually explain that to you because it has nothing to do with curvature. So my problem isn't that there is or there isn't curvature. My problem is that even if there were, that's not a proof of it. So people believe the Earth is a globe because they see the boat disappear. But even if the Earth were a globe, that would not be proof of it. And so people who believe the Earth is a globe only because they see this happen with boats, that's just a
right.
belief based on a wrong
right.
understanding.
So it's
She said that 3 times. Okay, I guess her point is over.
To me, that's just
right.
stupid.
Right.
Now it's just stupid. Everybody's just stupid. You see what she's doing there? She's being insulting, calling everybody stupid, doing all this fucked up shit, telling people they're so fucking frustrated.
So what have you got to say to that, Grim? Grim, you're muted, mate.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Carry on. All right, three things. Well, actually, the first thing is the zooming in of the boat and the horizon issue. There's two different issues with that. One, the flat earthers zooming out of resolution. When your camera's pixelation, the image is smaller than 1 pixel, the image disappears. So the boat gets smaller than a pixel, it disappears. It's never over the horizon. They're pretending to zoom back in, like they're zooming back into something that's already been over the horizon. That's a lot. That's phallus. That's joke. That's bullshit. That's a trick. I can prove it to you over and over again. I brought a demonstration of that for you if you want to screen share. If you want me to screen share it, where we got the telescope out. We're zooming into the objects. We're not getting any more bottom. Okay, I'm zooming into a target that's 40. I'm not, but the maker of the video is this one. Zooming into a target that's 43 kilometers away. There's 127 meters of hidden.
Interesting that she just tried to interrupt me, right? And I just, what did I do? Did I stop and go, you're interrupting me? Do we have to outline the rules of this debate again? Because that's not fair that you're gonna be doing it. And just draw out real long victim status shit that she does to me. But just ignore it. Wow.
I love listening to myself after I've cooled off about something when I'm mad about it, because it's funny. I understand the value of it. You know, it's pretty silly.
Anyway, from 3 different locations, observations are made that show curvature of 6,371 kilometers or somewhere around that, right? With refraction math that even is in favor of flat earthers. You know, because it's funny how flat earthers are like, oh no, that's refraction. That what you see there, that curvature, that curvature, that's refraction. And then they say there's no curvature.
The argument I made.
A refraction argument for it.
I have never made the argument of refraction.
Okay, and did you see how she had to interrupt me in order to say, I have never, but a minute ago she can say, well, some people say this, and talk about how some people say something, and then if I say, well, some people say something, I have never made that, and you know, she's completely opportunistic and manipulative.
Fraction here.
Okay, so anyway,
I don't make that argument.
Yeah,
So
okay, I straw man you. Right, but
that's a strong argument. I am.
Could be
I
hollow.
just said that
Could be.
twice. Okay, now she needs to take over the conversation and say it again while I'm still talking.
no, I just said that it's a straw man argument. But guaranteed, you hold that view anyway. So you haven't said it, but you still.
I have proper explanation for that. I don't have to make up.
Well, shit, I watched your video.
You just said it. You just said it though, right? Because you just said that hump. That's just a refraction. That's right.
Rewind the audio from this video.
You said the bottom of the boat's missing. That's because it's beyond your vanishing point. You just tried to make an explanation for it. Now you're going to sit there and say, no, that's not my position. That is a classic bullshitter right there.
Anyway,
I think
Because I didn't use the exact words that she used. She tries to say, no, did I say those exact words? Even though you just implied that there was a hump there. Because obviously there's something blocking the view. Okay? You're trying to keep it to where, oh, no, it's flat. I never said it was a hump. Well, then what's blocking the view? We're looking at what looks like a hump, and you all know it does. And you're going to say it isn't because of optics. Okay, you're still talking about what I'm talking about. The same thing. Refraction. Right? You're trying to claim that it's refraction that makes it look that way. And then now you don't understand what refraction is it's all of the light bending bullshit that goes on. There's all kinds of chromatic refraction and aberration, and there's things, different types of it create different magnifications and lensing effects and mirages, and from superior to Fagata Morganas to, all these different kind of things.
Agreed,
it's all different
Mackin's
refraction.
dude.
All right. And so I'm trying to be fair by using an arbitrary enough word of, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, no. Always about being a little snatch.
I think what Orphan was saying is that the fact that when you look at boats and they're curved they're hidden by the curve, but then when you zoom in, they're not. So her conclusion is the world must be a lot smaller if that's the case.
No, she just finished saying the way the light bends, that you don't see the light, and that's a refraction argument. So she didn't say the word refraction, but she implemented refraction.
Okay.
I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm
I need
going
to
to play
play
stupid
it
games.
for a second, okay? And you can kind of see.
What was your excuse why you don't see the boat when you say it goes over the horizon? That's something else altogether, and you said you're not going to get into it all. That's a refraction argument.
No, it's not up right now. Can you see my face? You can see my video?
Now I've got videos turned off for this, Orphan, just in case someone comes on and shows anything obscene.
Yeah, but on the Google Hangout, like, you can't see it on.
Yeah, we see
with
red ponytails.
Right? So, for example, when you look at it, okay, I'm going to start back. I'm going to calm, take a breath. Okay, I'm not your enemy. I know you think that I am, but I'm really not. For example, when you look at train tracks, right, not only do they appear to converge to a point in the distance, but they also appear to rise up to the midpoint-ish of your vision. Now, it has to do with how light bounces off objects onto your eye to form an image, right? And so the angle at which that light is bouncing, at some point it becomes horizontal to the midpoint of your eye. When it's horizontal to the midpoint of your eye, it is falling onto a cone or a rod with all the other light from whatever is beyond that vanishing point. And so that's why your brain doesn't form an image of it, because it doesn't have access to that information. So you need to have, I don't know why so hard for you guys to grasp. If you go dead,
if you think what you just said was something that was graspable, you literally just said a bunch of arbitrary words that don't have real meaning to them without.
No, because when you say that something is so far away that your eye can't see it, but I can actually see things that are much farther away than that because they're taller. That means that your theory is out the window, okay? And the globe is in, sweetie. That's what that means, okay? It's not. We're not talking about boats on the horizon. We're talking about 360 or 300 meter towers, 265 meter towers from 43 kilometers away, not 3 kilometers away, 43 kilometers away, with 127 meters hidden by the curvature. How do you explain that? Now do the math. At 360 degrees, you have 6,371 kilometers. All right, that's the circumference of the globe. Okay? It's really simple. It's simple. All right? You're making things up. Radius. That's a radius, not the circumference. Sorry, just spoke out of the side of my neck. And you're trying to confuse people with thought experiment things that have no real reality to them. That's not what's happening. It's not curving just out of our eye. What stops it from curving upwards then? Huh? What stops the light from curving upwards? Why does it always curve and make it look down and around? Why does it always look like a sphere then? Huh? Why does everything go over the horizon? Why in your theory it could go up the horizon, right? We might as well be, the water would go up and we would see upwards. Because you can't tell chromatic refraction which way to go. Can you? It goes which way the wind blows, right? Hot and cold. Hot air, cold air. These two mediums make a change and create those mirroring images and chromatic refraction effects where the light bends. You know why that happens? Okay, so you're totally missing everything and trying to talk about a mushroom on a tree. You don't know the whole forest is right there around you. And yeah, the mushroom on the tree doesn't even exist because it's a mushroom from unicorn poop, right? Now, if you can prove unicorns exist, try proving unicorn poop exists. How about that? I'm just saying.
How about that?
So it's a vacuous argument. It's a logical fallacy. Again, it's just ridiculous. But, you know, trying to tell people that, oh no, the reason you don't see this is because of this effect that I could never reproduce or
When
show
do
or
I
demonstrate.
ever shut up?
And you wonder, and then you're going to call everybody else stupid. And no, we understand what you're trying to expression. It's a cartoon. I mean, and
don't know how to dumb it down enough to simplify it.
Oh no, you're not dumbing it down. You've already dumbed it down, sweetheart. That's the problem. You dumbed it down so much it doesn't even make any sense.
Mid-ground.
You understand exactly how reflection works. I do. I understand exactly how. So if you're gonna say something like that, you need to be more specific as to the type of refraction you are referring. Honey. That's what I'm talking about. Is it the magnification type of refraction? Is it diffraction? Refraction?
It's not about refraction at all. It's about direct light. Okay.
If you just said, but you just said the way light bounces off, it looks like the train tracks are going up. That is exactly what refraction is, my dear.
That's not refraction. Refraction.
Do we have to be condescending? What's with this deer and hun? That's very condescending. Could we at least show some modicum of respect?
It's also condescending for them to repeat the same thing after you'd already explained the physics of it.
With the camera example, where Orphan read, do you find that the camera example zooming, bringing something back into focus after it's clearly invisible from the zoomed out perspective?
Now
Do
this
you find that that
this
is-
son of a gun.
What do you make of that? What does that demonstrate?
That has
Who's
to
that
do
addressed to?
right? The camera can only magnify. It can't create an information, or it can't create
Right.
information. So if the image is too far for the camera to resolve to magnify, then there's nothing there. It
Right.
will
Okay.
not appear on your image.
So-
and it's the same with the human eye. When things are beyond a certain distance,
But we have telescopes.
right? Yeah. Again, you can magnify with a telescope, but you cannot create information that isn't.
You're not. With a telescope, you can see so much drastically further.
Let me take it from here, brother. You're so right, and that's the point that I'm trying to get to over here. I've got this flat Earth experiment telescope video waiting on cue to show her all the things she's about to say don't exist and can't happen. But I need to wait for her to say them first because she likes to go, well, I never said anything about
Sir,
refraction.
It's
Because
best
she
to
uses
not.
the word refraction. She
Frenzy.
uses actually an explanation to her.
For the
Am I
millionth
talking
time.
or is someone else talking over me or what's going on here?
does anybody
Frenzy.
notice that? I mean, is she not done interrupting every one of my words and sentences with her very fucking loud, turned up all the way microphone?
I'm drying out my armpits here, but look, it's best to
I
not
have a turn
discuss
here.
your.
Hey, yo,
Why are you so sweaty? Gross.
It is gross, but I'm only human.
Right, guys. This is a discussion between Orphan and Grim, and you guys can add your points, like Louis and the other,
I didn't even know it was you, dude.
and the,
I should have.
That's fine.
Louis and the other guy. Who's the other guy here? Could you introduce yourself? Flat
Come
Earth.
in a second. Yeah.
Who's the other guy?
Yes, I think.
I don't think it is.
So anyway, she's right about the resolution argument. That's our argument. That's why we debunked Eric.
It's the resolution in the eyeball as well. Is she saying that the resolution in that human eyeball can't pick it up either? Is this what she's saying rather than refraction?
Sorry. Have you
It's
ever
a
noticed
misrepresentation of the resolution argument.
Have you ever noticed that when you look at an image where you see buildings on the other shore of a body of water,
Oh my God, if you saw the girl talking, you would be like, you would cringe. That's not her voice.
and the water is occluding the bottom of the buildings, right? And globe believers will say, well, that's because of curvature. But here's the thing. If you look very closely, what you'll notice is that the buildings are of a lower resolution, right? Lower detail than the waves that you're seeing at the bottom. And if you think about that for a second, or if you look at those images or that video footage, you'll figure out that what's happening is the waves that you're seeing are closer to the camera than the buildings, and that's why the waves can be in focus, but the tops of those buildings are really blurry. So
No, it's that the tops of the buildings are very much farther away than the waves. That's what we demonstrate, okay? So in the halfway in the middle, somewhere in the distance, this hump becomes apparent because now you're on the other side of the hump because of the sphere. So the farther you get away, the more hump rises up. It's a pretty simple process, really. And then, you know, you can, like I do in this video that you're not going to see because she throws fits and does all this other stuff. I'll show you the video in a second anyway. But you can see exactly how that works. So you know that the hump isn't right in front of the buildings, so you're not going to see them both in focus at the same time, right? I mean, of course not. Of course not. Unless you focus in on the buildings in the distance manually, right? So your argument is vacuous. It's a waste of breath and time too, because come on, really?
The waves behind the ones you're seeing, they're still there. It's just that your vision works like home.
Wrong.
No, it doesn't.
Our vision can focus. Our vision focuses to the objects we're trying to look at.
No,
our eyes, they change. All right, they have muscles in them.
I'm arguing kindergartners. Like you.
Again, now you're calling people kindergartners. I mean, you know, that's ridiculous, especially when it's you that doesn't understand what we're talking about. You're thinking that we're like flies, or all of our vision.
Didn't she just come in setting the rules about how they're not gonna do that stuff, and she's gonna, everybody's supposed to behave like this and like that, and no one's gonna try to show how stupid she is, and she's not gonna be able to even try to show how stupid she thinks I might be, you know, and all her wording about how she said it that way but opposite, so it was like she could show how stupid I was and that I could only attempt to try to show how stupid she was. And there's her little preset in the stage about how everything's not supposed to be rude and how it's supposed to be fair and even, and then she comes in calling people lunatics and kindergartners. And I just wanted to show people the hypocrisy in this friggin' clown nose bitch. That's all I gotta say for now.
Or like a cone, and that we can't focus in particularly on any one thing off into the distance, or not, or raise our perspective. That's hilarious. And then, like, you know, like if you're just staring blankly out at something and never focus in on, you know, or if you focus in on the close things and then wonder why your, you know, stuff in the distance is fuzzy, then, you know, that's just a whole other thing. This lady bores me. Kid, lady, whatever. It's full-grown lady talking like a little preteen. Disgusting.
Have to
Well,
think
stop assuming that we're this stupid, okay, and just assume that we know as much as you.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay. So how? I don't understand how you're not making sense of this.
The thing is we are making sense of it, and the sense is that your nonsense makes no sense. That's the consensus of the sense you've presented, and we sense it.
Light from the midground of the image bounces up into your eye, right? And anything, right? And at that point of convergence, right, where the train tracks into the sky, anything beyond that is still on the ground. It's still there. It's just beyond that point of convergence.
Why can't I bounce a radio signal from my house to your house then without a tower? If the earth is flat.
First of all,
sorry if I keep calling you hon. I'm Southern, so that's part of my...
Yep, the radio signal doesn't have anything to do with the way my eye is shaped now, does it?
just a 10-foot antenna on top of my roof and a 10-foot antenna on top of your roof from anywhere in the world, I should be able to talk to you, right? Just turn up the amplification, no problem. If it's flat, right? I mean, that's the idea, right? I mean, there wouldn't need to be transmission towers everywhere to catch signals on top of humps. If it was flat, would there? Would there? No, there wouldn't. There wouldn't be a need for that. But has nothing to do with the way my eye sees it. It's not nothing to do with my eye now, right?
Anyway, or why can't I stand on my roof?
I would say that no matter what set of railroad tracks you look down, no matter how long and how straight they are, eventually you won't be able to see farther. And that's because of the curvature. Not because the atmosphere is introduced a vanishing point.
What if, for just 1 second, let's imagine that the Earth actually has the diameter that a cotton spool.
Okay, I assume that off the bat already, but okay.
Okay, I'm there.
In which case, why would the train tracks, or let's use the water on the sea, because that's the calculations have been done for that, on a flat surface on the sea, right? Why do you think in that case, or yeah, here we can look at these corridors or these images that you're showing, why would you think that the convergent point would be 3 miles away? The diameter of the Earth is what we're taught it in. Like, how does that make sense to you that the horizon is so close to you if you think the ball is that big?
That's a very easy question.
Because we're really...
Can I take
really
it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, it's an easy one. Because it depends on your height, okay, from the observer and the target, your target horizon. If you're talking about, excuse me, can I answer your question? You went on for quite a while. Okay, so if I am 6 foot off the ground, then I can see 2.98 miles or something similar to that. On the smoothest surface of the sphere I can get, which would be water, right? Anyway, so if I were to rise up, then I could see more distance, and that is indicative of a spherical model in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if it was flat, why wouldn't you be able to see indefinitely far?
From right where you are.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Perfect. Okay, let's do that. Why don't you try to see for yourself?
We already did. I saw the video where they stuck the video camera under the table to try and make the perception so much farther, cutting half of your eye lens off at the table to try and bullshit flat earthers into believing that this thing that you're saying is true with that kind of trick photography. That's called trick photography.
I'm not talking.
Does anybody notice that she's talking over me the whole time, and I'm not doing that to her? The only reason it seems like I'm talking over. And not only that, and she's once again trying to make the vanishing point argument that I busted her out on trying to make earlier that she completely denied trying to make. So she's doing it again right now, right in your face. So yeah, clown's work. For her is because I just continue and don't allow her to stop me. All right, and I just want to point it out. It's like it was like the rudest person I've ever talked to. And I've talked to a lot of rude people. Manipulative, passive aggressive, and pretending that she's the victim and doing all of the nasty things.
Trick photography. I'm trying
the lady with the table and the clothespins and bringing the camera all the way down to the table, that's trick photography, misrepresenting physics.
Other people's stupidity or other people's videos that I didn't make, that I don't agree with, that I don't stand.
But she's making the argument that video has that video has made so many people believe. So she's making that argument. I'm talking about the same effect, and she's trying to act like we're talking about different theories or ideas all together. And how dare I? But again, anybody who follows any of this knows that this girl here is full of shit.
What people repeat and believe. So this is where you are right now.
Are you arguing with me, or are you debating with other people? Because
see,
I am not here to defend other people's
Yeah.
Oh, but that's what you're just doing. Now you're deflecting.
Well, I think we should argue with Orphan here. We should just like you said earlier, wait for her to say it.
But what's this we shit? No offense, Lewis, but oh yeah, I think I already tell you. Never mind.
And then,
Yeah, that's a great tool.
Like, I don't understand how you make sense of what you see when you fail to grasp that the
Insult after insult, right? Am I talking to her like that? I mean, for real? Yet? I mean, I've endured a long time of her talking to me like this.
light has to hit your eye to form an image, and it has to hit your eye. The light from the top and the bottom of an object have to intersect onto your eye in order for you to form an image of that.
yeah.
Totally get that, hon. I totally get that, 100%.
So the light from the bottom of a tree, as it moves away, why do you think it appears to move up into the center of the visual field? What's your explanation for that?
Because we live on a surface. The dimension.
I don't know why he started talking, guys. I mean, I think he was told once already this wasn't his debate, and he was just here until someone asked him something. You know, like if no one's asking him anything. This is a debate right now.
Of which, relative to us, are flat and on the same plane as we are.
How do you explain that makes the horizon?
Yeah, I'm starting to pick up on your vibe a little bit there, experimental vaccines.
So everything is a reflection. You see, you're seeing a
Not
reflection.
answering the question. I'm asking you, right?
That is answering your question.
You're talking about during the day. You're talking about during the day.
No.
Or
When
any
you
time.
look down the corridor, the ground of the corridor, right? The floor of the corridor
Man.
rises right to the middle of your visual field.
I don't know why that happens. It
You don't
just
know why.
does. It just does. But here's something that you would never expect to happen. Look, if you have something like, say, the sun or any of these other celestial bodies.
Let's stick to something more concrete.
No, these are very concrete.
The
These are
floor
very
of the
concrete.
hallway rises to meet the middle of your
Yes.
visual. Why do you think that happens, and how do you think that happens?
Because it's on the same plane as we are relative to like our size.
Right, and exactly, in the hallway.
Saying that it's relative to you. Why?
That is because of our size.
How is it because of your size? How does your size cause that effect to happen?
If
Because we're relatively 6 foot tall, the hallway's relatively 8 foot tall, so your head's already halfway up the hallway in the first place. What's happening?
So why does the ground at the end of the
because
corridor?
the ground extends out into infinity in a straight line. For all intents and purposes, to us, the ground is extending outwards to infinity.
No, your eyeball's round, dude.
In the same plane we are. But that's because we are 5,280 times 3. That number, take your height and divide it by 3 miles. Okay? That is your size relative to the curvature of the earth. So go fuck yourself. You're not supposed to be able to notice it.
Why?
Liz, keep the insults down a bit, mate. Please.
Don't be mean, you'll give her.
I'm asking you a really simple question. Why do you think, when you look down a corridor, how do you explain that the floor of the corridor...
See, that was crass. I didn't like that. I was I was insulted that he was to do that, because you heard me. That don't be mean. I'm not trying to give people excuses to back out of this damn debate by being rude or mean and being initiative of any assaults. And so far, he's come in and started answering some of the questions that were posed to me in this debate, and then saying, well, I don't know why he does that. But these are not my answers, right? This is just like why is he talking?
I forget I can
I don't
talk.
just dislike you for it, but
type
right
too
now
much.
you're out of ball. You're out of place, right? You're doing too much at this point, Lewis. And
rises to the
I think
middle
I get
of
annoyed
the
with
visual...
Corridor is man-made. It has nothing to do with the earth. So let's Like you,
No,
like
this is the same
when
principle.
you look at the
Let's-
technonometron, how come, it's like, look at,
No, this
look
is
at
the
the planet.
If you can't explain this, then you can't explain why you're seeing the
I
boat.
already explained that you're misrepresenting it in
But-
the first
but-
place. Here, there's a linear perspective corridor for you right there.
Why does the floor of the corridor, at the end of the corridor, rise to the middle of the visual image, to the middle of your eye? Why does that happen? How does it happen? By what method?
Because you're standing
Because you're less than 3 miles away at 6 foot. Obviously. How long do you think that corridor is? She's looking at a corridor that's about 100 feet tops.
Well, first of all, let's acknowledge that this is a camera here. So sometimes if you're not looking dead straight down the hallway, the floor doesn't rise to the center of your field of view.
Right.
Excuse me?
Mad, bro?
Yeah, I am mad. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe I'm having this conversation.
You're angry because you can't explain.
No, you let her troll you, bro. You let her make you mad like that and troll you. And now you look like the bad guy, right? That's how it works. That's her game.
Why?
I just explained it to you and you're repeating yourself. There's no conversation here. You're just repeating yourself.
Answer, so she pretends like you didn't.
I gave you an answer. You see, if you don't accept it, that's fine. But don't accuse me of not giving you an answer because that is a lie. Because I have.
Clearly.
So what was your answer, Lewis? Can you just round it up?
Clearly, again, you want me to tell you clearly again? Are you trying to write it down?
Hold on. Lewis, man, please.
I'm trying to understand your perspective.
It's against all.
Now, I know you guys can't hear me very well, but I'm like, Lewis, please, can you calm down? I'm trying to have this conversation. This is a debate between us.
When you get irritated,
So,
You're both men here, and you're both clever. You're clever enough not to go as low as insulting each other and shit, guys. Come on, I thought you were better than that.
Well, don't throw me in the bus with that stuff there, buddy, because I wasn't doing that to her, right? She's the one who's been doing it to me and to him, and he's finally blowing up about it, but she's getting away with it, right?
Especially you, Lewis, man. You're a smart guy. Come on, keep it civil, mate.
Sorry, Jen.
Nah, it's no you. On you go, continue. So what was it, Lewis? What was your conclusion? What was your answer? Round it up.
Experimental vaccines is in the chat. She says she's casting a spell of stupidity. Everyone run! That's hilarious.
Nicely,
didn't see
without
that.
your math.
Alright, well, he did say it matters about
What?
the height of the observer's eye, and that was a
yeah, if you're looking straight down the hallway, to the end of the hallway, the floor is going to rise up to it because it's very close. It's not very far away. Relative to the height of where you're looking, the height of the floor at that distance is not very far away.
Thank you. And we're only looking
So
at
it's the angle of where something looks like it is in your field of view has to do with how far away it is from you and how far away from the thing you're looking at it is.
Exactly, Liz.
Exactly. Those two distances.
Exactly, Liz. That's spot on, really. So what have you got to say about that, Orphan Red?
Well, now we know who passed the link.
So, I'm trying to stay calm. So, you're saying that at the end of the corridor, the floor rises up to the midpoint of your image.
Not quite.
Sorry?
Not quite to the midpoint.
Okay. At the end of the corridor, the floor rises up to near the midpoint of your visual field because the light bouncing off the floor enters your eye at an angle at which it appears to be coming from a higher position than it actually is in reality.
No.
No. Go stand in the corridor of your house. The fucking bottom of the door is not at the fucking middle of your fucking eyesight, no matter what. The damn corridor has to be very long and then not too long. It's like a distance issue, and you can zoom out and create that distance issue with resolution and the camera. So zoom out and zoom in. So you can create that issue. So there's
the effect that we're looking at in the picture is an effect of the camera. He already explained that in very, very much layman terms, where she could have easily said, well, that's a decent argument, I'll have to look into that, and then moved on to another point, like you would in a real debate, because there was no way for her to stress her point as the only valid answer in reality, when hers isn't even demonstrable and ours is, his was. But again, that was also my argument as well. I tried to make it as simple as possible too, and she blew right past that and started deferring over to him for her, because she's looking for the weakest link. But the debate, mind you, was with me.
Right, and no, because for simple reasons. You know that the hallway was built in uniform, right? We're imagining that this is some hallway that is it's 8 foot tall all the way from the back to the front, right?
Yeah.
8 foot wide all the way from the back to the front. Well, again, you can only see 8 foot for so far away in the first place because your eye's round, right? And I know what you're trying to get him to say. Your eye's round, and that's why you see everything up in the middle.
It has nothing to do with the eye being round. No.
That would have been the best argument.
That's not an argument. That would be wrong.
Probably could have got me to say something stupid if you brought that up, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving her her best argument. Go ahead.
That's the thing, though. I'm not interested in pushing falsehoods to prop up my belief. I'm actually interested in truth, not just.
Really?
Yeah, so you're just swinging a sword all over the jungle without looking where you're swinging.
I'm glad you said that.
No,
So,
like,
with the spirit of truth in mind, let's move on to something that you can actually demonstrate again. All right, so here's the street lights, right? Oh, look at that. You can actually see the curvature. And they curve inward, so you can't say it turns left or it turns right, huh?
Oh my God.
I don't think that's long. That's not long enough to see the curvature.
But look at the back
I
end.
think that
Look
your Earth
at the
is
back
so
end.
small
You see it
that
now?
you're seeing curvature 3 blocks away.
Wait, you think that's 3 blocks away, honey?
There's no way that's a 3-mile stretch of road like that.
Wait, you don't know that, though.
How big and how far apart are each of those poles, man? We could do this math.
Look, that's what I'm saying. We're not sure, but that's what I'm saying.
We're not sure. Look at the road painting signs. All right, look at those poles are not taller than the road. They're not that far apart. Like,
So you think that they built
this is not a picture that you could see.
Can I finish? Real quick?
Yeah, you can finish.
Thanks, Lewis. Okay, so you think they might have just made some shorter poles instead to get those poles down there like that?
No, that you're looking at an actual hill.
Okay, good. All
No,
right, that
you're
makes sense,
not.
too.
You're not.
Right there, you are.
Aren't hills curved? Aren't hills curvature?
Yeah. Hills are absolutely curved.
When they say there is no curvature, I just want to show them a mountain and say, well, how do you explain that? No, I'm just kidding. No, over water, but you see how things are bigger.
Doesn't a hill have curvature?
You see how big the lights are in the front here, and then how small they are all the way down there towards the back. So let's move on. Right, and then let's imagine now that
Let's stay on that
we're
for a
on the
second.
flat Earth model. You see
Oh,
the
I
sun.
see.
You see how the sun is exactly the same diameter. Excuse me, if you interrupt me again, you're proving yourself to be a troll. All right, you see the same exact size and diameter that the sun remains as it goes over the curvature. It's because it doesn't change distance, and it's not local like in the flat Earth model that misrepresents it. So there's another important fact that it's really hard to pretend it doesn't exist. There's the moon. Well, think about it from the flat Earth model perspective. The sun and the moon are what dictates the moon phases, right? We know this. So how come the moon isn't in a different phase wherever you are in a different location on Earth on the same day for every observer, right? So in other words, the moon phases would be location specific, not the day specific, like they would be on a sphere. On a sphere, everyone on Earth looks up and sees a half moon when it's a half moon. But on the flat Earth, everyone on Earth would look up and see a different moon per area they were in. It would be a half moon in Texas and a quarter moon in New York, because that's what happens on that model. Just work out the model, turn the model on, and watch it fumble. That's what we do. You put everything in place, and then you don't flip the switch and turn on your model and watch it try to work. We do. We see it fall over the place and crumble apart. But go ahead.
Orphan, do you want to add to that?
Well, he's not actually arguing with me. I don't know who he's arguing with. He's arguing with some flat earther he saw on YouTube that he's angry with, because he's arguing against things that I haven't actually said.
I think that's the problem sometimes, Orphan, that like you can end
Yeah,
up,
you did.
Putting all the flat earthers in one basket when really they're all got their own individual models and their own ideologies, and that's what makes it so wrong. Because there's
because then it was an argued point that idiots have made that I know are
Good
wrong.
job, Jed.
That's why I asked you to make your point, so I can directly attack your position if it's wrong.
But you didn't let me.
That way, you're not pretending to be a flat earther, but then ad hocing every time I get you in a corner. You ad hoc and say, "Oh no, I didn't even say I believe in that." And it's like, well, you can't discredit, and not put another model in there. You can't say something doesn't work and not even know that it doesn't work or not. Because you're literally saying, "Oh well, it can't be a sphere." But I can show you 3 different locations over water. Pictures of towers, videos of towers through a telescope from 43 miles away with 127 meters of hidden distance on a 265 meter high tower. And then that's curvature. And I can show you from the distance, the height of the observer, all of the data you would need to calculate the spherical nature of the planet. And you're telling me I'm bullshitting? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't prove that it's round. That's how you prove it. And when you're saying you can't show curvature, when that Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever the fuck his name is, when he said that, you can't see the curvature, he meant horizontal curvature. Like, you can't look from left to right to notice the curvature unless you're way the fuck up in the air and all that kind of shit. He didn't say that you couldn't actually see hidden, obstructed, the obstructed bottom. You couldn't see the curvature that way with the peak of a tower or a mountain.
I think you're kind of right though. Like you can't say that
he said you can't see the curvature. He's fucking moron.
You can't say it's not a globe, but then say it's nothing else. And that's what a lot of flat earthers do. They say I'm not a flat earther, but I question the globe. I don't believe it's a globe, and it's like it just seems like it's not a very, I think it's intellectually dishonest to take that stance. And Dell does it a lot. He's the number one guy that does it. He says, I'm not a flat earther, but I don't think it's a ball. And he'll argue like a flat earther against the ball. But when you say, so support your flat earth, he'll say, I don't believe it's a flat earth. It's like, well, fucking where do we go? Where do we go with this argument?
Let's pay attention to her perspective and her linear perspective argument then, because that was your argument. So if the moon or the sun is 3,000 miles above the planet, you have to pick something. You're not saying it's 3,000 miles above the planet either. Am I going to gather that in a second?
Am I going to gather that in a second?
So what do you believe, Orphan? Do you believe the sun's closer than it is, or?
Well, Jed, we're not having a conversation. We're not having a discussion. This guy is going on this huge tirade about the moon and the sun and the light.
Well, it started off with the curve, the water. If we can go back to the whole, like...
Better than being stuck in a corridor with you, right?
Well, if you don't want to have a conversation...
Being stuck in a corridor talking about stuff that you can't figure out in a corridor about the Earth. You're talking about, look at this corridor here. We were stuck in the whole time.
Do I get a chance to talk here, or is it just his show and he's just going to monologue?
You can talk whatever you want.
I don't know. She waits until someone starts talking and goes, "Can I get a chance to talk now?"
Being interrupted?
So, Orphan, can I ask you something? So, since you're not, well, what are you going to respond? What is it that you want?
Talk at me. I don't understand why you asked me to be here. If you just want to talk at me, you can just put up a picture of my...
Orphan, I'm just trying to break up the conversation here.
Alright, we're talking at her, right? Just at her. She initiated it that way in the chat before this damn thing. And continued.
been talking at us the whole time, and she's now the victim because no one's putting up with it. Wah, it's like your daughter whining to you, trying to manipulate you to do something, and you know it, and you feel like, damn, I have to teach her a lesson. I'm not gonna let her get away with it, because then that will like enable her to think that was a good, association. So sorry, little girl. No.
Saying that, what is it?
To have a conversation. You let me have a conversation.
Orphan, we were waiting for you to say something for about 30 seconds and it was silent, so this is why I butted in. Because it was silent. Grim finished and then you went. We waited for your answer and it was quiet.
Then we started, excuse me,
I'm not your sweetheart. So why don't you just...
No, obviously, you're not trying to be with me.
Why don't you just be quiet for a few moments and let me say my piece?
Give your answer, heard nothing.
Ask me 7 questions and then you go off on some rant about the moon
Right.
that has nothing to do with the point that we're trying to...
Well, answer the question then.
It was exactly on point.
And
The fact that you had nothing to do with the debate shows your lack of understanding of the physics. That's all. Don't
Okay,
be mad because you don't understand physics.
Well, let her respond, Grim, please.
I don't even know where to start. You're so fucking idiotic and frustrating. Like, first of all, even Lewis, I don't know what your name is, even he thinks you're an idiot for thinking that those street lights show curvature. And
I wouldn't call him an idiot, but whatever.
Actually, they do show curvature, knucklehead, because they're on a hill. Are hills straight?
Lewis, you're wrong about that.
It's just not spherical curvature of the Earth.
If we're playing a semantic game, no, he's not wrong about that.
You actually think...
He's not showing the type of curvature that we would care about.
I was cracking a joke, but your lack of...
Earth.
I think it was funny.
Yeah, come on. He was making a joke. I think.
No, he wasn't. He actually doesn't...
Yes, I literally was, because my point was about this perspective, the size. Near is big, far is small, and I was going to get to the sun being... If
No,
it was
you
on
were
the flat
talking
Earth
about-
model, the only thing was, because look at the whole demonstration is still right in front of you.
Otherwise, there's no point in me being here, and I'm
My whole
getting...
demonstration is still right in front of you, Orphan.
Like, all your...
She keeps interrupting me and saying, "Let me fucking talk," or I'm leaving.
If you want to step in here and actually...
Well, this is what I've been trying to do, Orphan, but you were
Trying to
cutting me
hijack.
off when I was trying to step in, because you went quiet for 30 seconds, and I was trying to get to the point, and then you started saying that I was speaking over you. So, can we just start again, right? Can you just answer Grim from where you said he gave you 7 questions or whatever? Can you just answer the first one at least, or let's get the discussion back on track instead of saying who said what and what. If
Right.
Louis said something, I don't really care. We need to get back to the discussion. So we were waiting for your reply, Orphan. So can you just continue?
There's so many levels of idiocy here that I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't know if I should address the fact that when things move further away from you, those lights on both sides of the street, when you're looking down that street, and what's-his-name thinks that the reason that you see curvature at the end is because you're seeing curvature of the globe, when in fact that has to do with it's not a linear relationship, it's logarithmic. And so that's why it appears to curve away at that distance with the light on both sides of the street. It has nothing to do with...
Actually, it goes down the hill on the other side of the street.
Or going over the
Dumbass.
That
curvature.
is going over a hill, sweetheart. That is going over a hill. It goes down.
Her speech is logarithmic as well. All right, have patience.
I know.
Okay, I'm guessing you don't know what that means. I'm going to try to explain it in a way that's more simple. So some things have a relationship like, for every step forward, it goes down by half
Look, you
a
don't need to be condescending, sweetheart.
I'm not your fucking sweetheart. And apparently...
Don't explain logarithmic to a fucking theoretical mathematician, then, dumbass. Move
Then
on.
can you explain it to the audience?
Tired of you being fucking rude to people.
Because I'm sure there are people in chat
Move
that
on.
would prefer your explanation of it.
Man, this is not on topic, Orphan.
Of course it is. It has
She's
to
trying
do
to
with
Delphi
how
the
light
conversation,
makes
change the subject.
We
Why
were.
we- Let's wait. He says he knows what it is, and he doesn't want him by explaining it, I think that the chat would maybe be interested in his explanation of it. So let him explain.
Right. Grandma, can you add to that?
Okay, is it okay for me to talk now?
Yep. Continue.
Okay. Well, right. She's talking about how basically, let's think if you're putting something down on a successive point, like along an axis, the graduations or the gradients that are equal, basically, or equal distance apart, they'll represent certain values that are at an equal ratio, basically. That's what logarithmic means, sweet love.
That's a linear relationship.
Yeah, that's a logarithmic, what you're saying. Okay, there's many different types of logarithmics. Okay, so when you're going to use a word, an arbitrary word, you better define which type.
It's
right,
not.
you're trying to be Mr. Smarty Pants in my fucking presence, my love. So
I'm not
a curve conforming a straight line is plotted on a logarithmic scale. It's exponential in your heart.
My sweet, sweet dear heart.
Maybe you should.
I'm tired of her fucking being so condescending. So it's like, let's put it back on the level. You're not gonna just do that at somebody else. I'm gonna make it obvious. I'm doing it back to you because you're doing it.
He's disrespectful, and you're trying to move.
I'm disrespectful. She's called us idiots on several occasions.
Kindergartners,
Already. And
morons,
I'm
idiots.
Disrespectful. Oh man, get out of your glass house, girl, before you start throwing stones around, dummy.
You're not being disrespectful.
More likely I am to bring up real science that's beyond over your head. I'm trying to.
I think Orphan,
She
you
just-
should know he doesn't mean anything.
Logarithmics over my head.
It's just trying to be rude.
There's nothing rude about it.
Yeah, there is, because I said.
I gave her the
I don't
fucking
like that.
definition,
No, your
actually,
sweetheart,
for
don't call
logarithmic.
me your sweetheart is condescending. Everybody knows that's condescending. Just don't do it.
Then don't talk to me with my daughter's voice at the age of whatever mid-30s you're in, sweetness.
If you're gonna talk to me like that, then you're gonna get talked to like a little kid.
Well, if you find it condescending, then that's a consideration Grimby needs to take.
I take that consideration, and I appreciate the fact that you're noticing the subtleties of what's condescending or not when someone else is doing it, but you're not noticing it when you're doing it, Orphan, to others. Like having me explain the definition for logarithmic.
Well, why
Or calling people idiots several times, and how, let me dumb it down for you, and all of these different ways that you've decided to engage with me in this debate. You've been very rude, condescending, disrespectful, borderline smacked across the mouth.
don't you explain it? You said you know what.
Borderline smacked across the mouth.
The definition verbatim of what the damn.
I make me laugh. I don't know.
It's a little over your head, I suppose, because you didn't even grasp what that I just gave you the definition for it when I was saying that. So that's sad, and there's why we can't really have a great discussion, because you're misrepresenting of physics.
Great discussion.
And then your pompous attitude towards how you think you're the authority.
That's the name of this hangout.
Rather than linear. So rather than being for every 2 you have 1, or for let's say for every 6 you have 2, there's an exponential involved, so that as you move away, the difference in height is variable, and so that's why you appear to see the curving of the Pontchartrain Lake power station.
She said variable.
And then that's
She's smart
been
now.
bumped because people realize that actually when you zoom in, you can see that that's not actually.
I mean,
Word salad. Can I get a little cheese and some croutons with that salad, hun?
Curvature of the Earth. You would be standing on a very small ball if that was curvature of the Earth. Like, how do you not see that?
Are you dumb? When you're zooming in that far and you don't still have the front in the view of the camera, you don't get to see from the perspective of where you once were.
Yeah, plus she doesn't get it that between those pylons that gets closer and closer, so that's
literally lying.
way more distance packed into a much smaller area at that distance.
Again, remember when I
We've been
first...
over that.
That's why it starts to curve so dramatically, because you can see so much more distance packed into the last bit of the area.
Excuse me. The reason I say sweetheart and shit is because it's like, hey, I'm feeling like saying something else, and I'm trying to use my most polite thing I can think of. And sweetheart seems to cut the air and stop you from interrupting so much when I say it.
I know, but Grim, you know it's Grim.
I'm trying not to say it though. So skip
Grim, you know it's antagonising her. You know it's antagonising her.
Right, I understand that.
You're right, GED. I do know that.
Jed.
Because it's not because I do slap back. You can't like say don't slap
Exactly.
back.
I don't just sit there and let her do that to me.
I'm only slapping back. I mean, I'm just not going to sit there and let her continue to hit me with a barrage of insults and bullshit without letting her feel a little bit of the aggravation back, right? Mirror it back to her, you know, because I am demonstrating a valid argument and she's literally trying to ignore it. So let's listen. But thanks, GED. You're right. I know that. But it's obvious. Of course I know that. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't make a curvature demonstration over ground anyway. I thought it was obvious. Like, so the sarcasm was supposed to be picked up by anyone that can pick up anything like sarcasm. I make very technical arguments about the curvature of the Earth. I would never, ever be serious about saying, see, over ground proves curvature. That's a stupid argument. I would never do it. So let's back up a second, sweetheart. I already said it was a joke to Lewis because I knew he would fucking pick up on that shit. Lewis, and then us pretending to fight, that's a joke, dude. Relax.
As if I would make a curvature argument over ground. I've already demonstrated how those types of arguments are invalid. I've done this already. It's on public record, so nice try.
Not trying to pick our scab.
Grim, sweetheart, just chill, mate.
You are funny, dude.
Just chill, sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
And let Orphan speak.
For me to try to communicate to you why you're seeing that boat disappear, you have to have a basic understanding of why the floor rises to the near midpoint of your visual field at the end of the corridor. That's the easiest way that I can think of to... What the hell? That's not an argument. I don't even know.
Hey, round eye. Round eye. Yes, it is an argument.
It has nothing to do with, like, what the hell?
Have you ever seen a lens? Have you ever seen a convex or concave lens? How you can focus out or end an image between just which way you decide to bend lens, convex or concave.
So
that's why it matters.
It's
pulling everything up to the center of your eye.
By your argument,
your image is bouncing off your eye.
Okay, so by your very argument, a camera...
You were trying to get us to say that argument, so I'm biting. Now go.
By your argument, a camera...
See what I did? A minute ago, I told her that she was trying to get
me
to say that. And that I was round because she had a scripted go for, attack on that argument. So I just proved it by mentioning it again, but in a different type of a frame of context, so she would think that now he's biting, and actually it's her that's biting. It's like that. It's like the minnow was fishing for the bigger fish with the littler minnow, who was actually the tongue of an even bigger fish.
The angler fish.
I'm sorry, if you could see the picture I just painted, it's hilarious.
It doesn't have a round eyeball.
She's now in my tummy.
It has a flat sensor. How do you explain that your camera takes the picture down the corridor and also has the floor of the corridor rising up to the near midpoint of the image?
She just said if camera doesn't have a lens, it's a flat sensor. Nothing in front of it. The misrepresentation, everything she talks about is hilarious. All these weird assumptions that are they're like, it's a swing and a miss. You want to tell her every time, but it's just like a waste of time because she'll just be like, "Oh, you're interrupting me."
Because the middle of the camera is pointed at the end.
See this map right here? Flat Earthers be like,
I'm only laughing because I can't believe she thinks the other people are stupid when she's so dumb. And you want to say it, but it's just like, oh, you can't just say you're dumb, right?
Point.
Even though she's been saying that to us and shit the whole time.
You're talking about a corridor, which is like literally not enough height or width.
Okay. If you're pointing the camera straight down the corridor, right? So you're pointing at the middle of the wall, okay? The height from the center of frame is going to be just a few feet from the floor, right? When the place you're looking at the end of the hallway is much more than a few feet away, right? So in the totality of things that you are observing, it's not going to be very far.
I think
It's going to be very close to the center of the frame. Like, this is not a difficult concept to understand at all.
I think the epiphany just hit.
I don't think you understand how it works. I don't understand.
Wow. I don't claim to make, or I don't make such claims about you and what I think you know. And that's mainly because you haven't said very much about anything. You've just said that these things are not true, and you really don't think they're true, and you bring it up over and over.
Yeah, but Lewis, here's the thing. First, you said that the reason that
There's just one thing.
You know how I can prove that my argument wasn't about the curvature?
Let Orphan address Lewis. Let Orphan address Lewis, please. Grim, sweetheart, Grim. Let Orphan address Lewis.
Say this once, we're gonna hear it. I mean,
No, she's addressing Lewis here, mate.
Go ahead, 3 times. Go ahead. Third shot should do it.
Lewis, first you said that the reason the floor appears to rise is because your eyeball is round, and then you said that the camera, you said the eyeball is round. That was your response when I first
I didn't say that.
I said that. Mr. Grim B said that.
Okay, so then you're saying
she was gonna ignore that now. See, she was talking to me. She didn't even know it. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. And like, no, actually, you were talking to me, clownfish.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you've misunderstood me somehow.
So then why don't you make it clear? Why do you think that the
'cause she wasn't even
ground
talking to me, dude.
rises to near the midpoint of the visual field at a distance? How do you
It rises. The ground
Because
rises.
The distance.
The ground rises.
The distance puts more things into your field of view, right? So the end of where you're focusing, if where you're focusing is very far away from you, it's going to occupy a much smaller angular size of your field of view. It's going to occupy what?
Why is it in the middle of the image? Why isn't it still on the ground?
Because the ground occupies roughly 50% of your field of view if you're looking straight ahead.
No curvature will happen. Look, I'll show you.
So that, no, I'm still
Yeah,
talking.
it just gets bigger when it's closer and smaller further away. But the
You know where the midpoint of your field of view is? You know, it's right around 50%. You know, like there's not a coincidence here.
So Lewis, what do you think happens beyond that point? When
Beyond that point, what?
when things are
It's an asymptote.
size.
That is an asymptote.
Can I finish my question and then you can answer?
it's asymptotically flat, sweetheart. That's what that means. That's a mathematical term for flat forever.
Lewis, what do you think happens at the point beyond which the apparent size is reduced too much so that your eye can't resolve it? What do you think happens at that point?
Then it's too small for my eye to resolve it. Then that's that.
And what happens in
Doesn't
the
curve off or bend off. It just disappears.
random talking to Lewis? So then what do you think happens in your visual image at that point? When something is so far away that by your own argument it's small to be resolved, but it's at the center of the frame or near the center of the frame. What effect would that have on the image?
It would just, you wouldn't be able to see it. Like, it would be like it wasn't there, so it wouldn't have an effect on the image at all. Because it wouldn't be in the image.
Right, so it would be invisible, right? It would not be resolvable. And it would disappear
is the soul of wit, you know.
I'm trying to use maybe more of a Socratic method here. So what I'm trying to say is,
It was a
you
nice little
yourself
slap
are
in the
admitting
face.
then that
Why can't you just let my words speak for themselves? Like, I wasn't speaking a different language.
you're admitting that the ground rises to meet the middle of the visual image, right? And you're admitting that when
No,
things...
if you're looking straight ahead, it does that.
Yeah, okay. And
Night,
you're
Fire
also
Guy. Thanks for
admitting
hanging
that
out.
beyond that point, when things are further away and they're too small to be resolved, they're no longer visible, even though they're still there.
Me too, Evie.
Sure, yeah, making some real
I think the
profound
universe has always been
statements
here.
Auto demonstration. We're showing you that right now.
So you're accepting that. So
Hard
then
to-
what happens if, beyond that point, there's something very large, like a building? So then,
Yeah.
It becomes larger,
Good
and
stuff.
we can see it again.
so it would be visible.
What?
Possibly, yes. It doesn't go out of your. It doesn't bend out of your view because it's larger. Then it just becomes visible.
Okay, so then what you would end up with is a false horizon at the midpoint of your vision.
No. You would just see an object.
Look, no, Lewis, I'm
What is the false horizon? You're not
You
just
just admitted. You just said.
Look, yeah, Orphan, yeah, direct it at me, please.
misrepresenting it all together. Because look, I'll show you. That's why I'm glad I got.
I'm not talking to you right now. Right
Just,
now, I'm talking.
Grimby, hold that off for a minute.
Okay, so Lewis, you acknowledge that beyond that resolvable distance, you will see a thick horizon at your eye level where everything converges and then things are too small for you. You just said that you acknowledge that things beyond
No,
that
I didn't.
False meaning? I mean, Orphan.
won't resolve. You cannot see them. You said you wouldn't see things beyond the distance
Right.
that are unresolved.
Yeah, that was we're talking about straight out in front of you, not things that are going
That's right.
over.
Look at the time lapse of the sun.
Okay, let's go with that for a second. Let's go with what Lewis is saying for a second, okay? So what I'm saying is,
Let's go with it forever.
if there's a tree, there's a small tree at that distance that it's too small for you to see, at that midpoint of your vision, you don't see it, you just see the false horizon, so you don't see the tree, right? But if behind the tree, there's a really big building, you're going to be able to
Is it up
see
on a hill? I mean, what are the
You might be able to see the building, but it's gonna look really fucking small. Like really, really
Yeah.
small.
but you're not going to
prove right now? Look at the sun.
Lewis, can I just talk
It's shrinking away, and your diagram.
Just talk over him, Orphan.
Fuck
Okay,
that,
so
dude.
Lewis, if there's a tree in front of your very large building,
So this is what she's been doing the whole fucking time, buddy. You don't need to tell her that shit. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about right now. This is Mr. Grimm v. Orphan debate. She squirmed out from underneath me and is trying to latch on to the weaker link for the argument.
you wouldn't be able to see the small tree at the base of the building, but you would be able to see part of the larger building.
Okay, well, see, a tree and a building are terrible examples because the object we're looking at, the object.
Or what she perceives to be the weaker link. That's what I'm trying.
The weaker link. And by the way, he had already told her some old rude shit like shut the fuck up and whatever, right? I've not even done that. That's the whole kind of like, why would she rather be talking to him as if he's more reasonable? He was the one who told her shut the fuck on up and all that shit. I've still been polite. Just barely, but, you know, tolerating her bullshit, barely tolerating it. But I didn't get all shut the fuck up on her and shit like he did. So, you know, that just goes to show you. She's really after him. She's really trying to only talk to him because he said some dumb shit. Trying to answer questions. And he's like a little bit weaker of a link on this issue. And others.
The object we're looking at should hypothetically not be attached
Excuse
to
me,
ground
Lewis.
because that's
I
going
want
to
you to
be
stop,
curvature.
Lewis, stop, man. This was a conversation between Orphan and I. She has squeezed me out of the conversation because she's afraid I have more.
Well,
listen.
you do. You do, Grimby. You have all the evidence right there in front of you, Grimby. But
Right,
she's
and I'm trying to present it, and I'm trying to talk about it, and you keep letting her talk to you only, and this is how I'm getting shut out of this, and she's being a weasel right now. I want everybody to see this shit.
And you're not.
And you notice she has not shut up. Peck, 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 peck. And you peck, and you peck, 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 and you peck, 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 peck. While I'm talking to him, too. So it's a peck, 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 peck. Just a peck, 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 peck. It's on purpose.
I mean, no, you're.
He's like, no, I was talking to Lewis. I'm like, no, excuse me, you came in here to debate me, not Lewis, okay? Now, I brought in my fucking presentation. You're being so rude and dismissing everything I'm saying, and yet you're ignoring me and trying to...
See how she won't shut up? Can you see that? She just will not stop peck, 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 talking. Talking over me. Peck, 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 peck.
hide the fact that you can't answer any of my questions.
No, it's because you're an idiot and you're rude. I'm happy to debate.
Again, because you're an idiot and you're rude. Now, that's several times she's called me names. What have I done to her yet? You guys watching this? What have I done?
Well, I mean,
She's calling me an idiot, and then I'm rude. But though she's been the one calling people idiots this whole time, being rude. And so I go, sweetheart, instead of saying, hey.
Sometimes people fall for that shit because she's a girl and she just says a lie. They just believe her. I mean, sometimes they fall for it. I don't know how. Okay, I know how, but it's no excuse. Been a marshmallow head.
Your bitch face. Hey, liar. Hey, because that's all the stuff that she's being. You know, hey, twat. Hey, manipulative snatch. All the things you want to say, and I'm just saying, hey.
Hey, manipulative snatch. What'd you say to me?
Sweetheart. Bless you. You know, all the stuff that you say when you want to just kill them with kindness instead of being rude to them. So, she doesn't like the kindness? Well, oh well, I'm from the South.
he does have a presentation. He has a whole presentation there. I mean, it is kind of rude.
Yeah, you're dismissing.
You don't understand what he's
You're
saying.
misrepresenting my presentation every time you get a
It's not a
chance.
presentation.
You're talking over me, so you're afraid that people are going to hear what's going on here. Right, all that goofing off and acting all pompous you do on your channel, it's all coming back to you right now. This is karma, baby. All right.
Lewis is.
My name is Earl.
You got a little bit weaker.
Yeah, and Evie, I'm trying to keep a rapport with people so we can, you know, talk to them about more serious issues as well. But if you notice, every time I have a vaccine hangout or something, only 4 people show up. But every time I do a stupid argument debate, 17 people show up. You know what I'm trying to say?
I am reasonable.
So
As a matter of fact,
I try to throw in some good information inside of the other, whatever I have here. And this isn't. This is just a. I don't even know why you're saying. I don't even.
because I'm withdrawing from saying fuck you to the last insult you just gave me.
Yeah, I feel you, dude.
You don't have to do anything.
Hi, Lee. How are you?
Right, except exclude the fact that you keep using ad hom only.
How's
And
things?
you don't have an argument.
Look, Orphan Red, you said a moment ago that you thought I was reasonable. You may eat those words very soon. So.
I heard that.
You're reasonable. I don't care that you disagree with me. At least you're reasonable and you're logical. And
I
you're
appreciate the
intelligent,
informant,
so you can actually
Evie.
make sense of things. But this other guy, I
As
don't-
if I'm not.
We could be on topic. We could be spending this time being on topic.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I'm
like
the guy. You can't get anything out of me. No, I'm
Angry
demonstrating
over pushing
you
the
can't fight. Right.
Look,
because you
honestly,
can't fight.
if Grimby brought a presentation to this thing, I think that is kind of what, like, he's dedicated some time into this event.
These are just Google images of convergence. That's
Yeah,
not-
that he is accumulated together with explanations and some whatever. So you know, it's still a presentation, which you do not have.
I
So,
don't need to have images from Google Images.
right, so he should be
It's
getting
all
the intention is basically
You're
how
so
that's
rude to me than trying to pretend like you're the victim through this whole thing, and it's really transparent at this point. I hope everyone can see that.
Point.
Right. You've been nothing but rude with ad hom. Exactly. And you won't approach the subject with me.
The subject is okay. The subject is at the end of that corridor where that false horizon appears. You can't see a small bucket on the ground in front of a building, but you can see parts of the building. Lewis has already conceded this. Now all you have to do is apply this to the ocean analogy,
Lewis.
and you'll understand why.
Well, when you're looking at things over water, you immediately have to incorporate different amounts of refraction because of the absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
By the way,
looking over water is different than looking over land, and if you don't understand that, you need to.
You're right. And this little corridor that you're looking at, this is only about 100 meters tops. This, I don't know what you think you're looking at there.
Meters, I meant
Is that
40,
miles
30
or something,
meters.
corridor?
You
Right.
understand?
You're not going outside of your eyeballs
Do you
approach, right? Like you're claiming that it's so far away that it... I know, but you're using the physics at all the inappropriate times where they do not apply. That's what we're trying to demonstrate. You're not understanding what you're doing, and unless you are, and you're being intellectually dishonest, and that's why it's so
You're
difficult.
just not able to grasp the logic that's being used.
I know, you can't tell somebody, listen, I can show, I made straight A's in school, sweetheart. We're not going to talk about how I can't grasp the fucking logic. That's not
Into
true.
bad
You
school.
can back that
doesn't
shit
mean
up right now, okay? I grasp the logic, and I grasp the failure of logic by the flat earth approach, too.
You
I
think
grasp it all.
streetlights are going over the
You're
curvature
misrepresenting the whole thing.
They're
So,
curving at
to
the end
get
of
to my point, since this was my presentation and I was explaining, first off, I cracked a joke about over
your
the
presentation.
curvature. We're not over water, so of course that wouldn't apply.
Rin,
Water's
no one
wet.
in chat can see your presentation.
What?
No one in chat can see your presentation.
Yeah,
There's
but
no.
you can. You can.
What's that? Because you can, and for you to
Why
just
don't you use your
act like
words?
I'm arguing with the chat or something, I don't know where that's coming from. This is about me and you, right? So can you be honest and say that you do see my presentation right now?
Yeah, I see your images of convergence. Yes.
Okay, you see the steel balls there, how I have many of them hanging, and you can see that they are all the same size, and then you see that once they get, once they get farther away, they get smaller in
Yes.
appearance. Okay, so now you see they get smaller in appearance. Now let's move on down to the sun. Now on the flat Earth model, if it was local and not on a sphere that would stay at the same distance going around this planet at all times, why would it not change size? If it's on a sphere and it's going distance away from you, and the distance changes from the observer, see,
Yeah,
that's
let me explain. I'll tell you why. That's without changing size, for the same reason that you can't see the bucket and the base of the building that's beyond that vanishing point, but you can see the top of the building if the building is large enough.
that's incorrect.
Same thing, because the mid-ground
That doesn't change at all.
Not demonstrable.
the false horizon is an optical illusion at which the resolution.
It's just word salad.
Regular horizon. That doesn't add up. That even if that were true, Red, there's so much left of the sky where you would notice this change in angular size.
No, because it doesn't have to do with angular size. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it does. Why does the floor rise to the center of the picture?
Everything that moves away from you has something to do with angular size. Okay, so she's like outside of the realm of physics in her head.
See, that's what I was trying.
Why does that happen, Red? Why does that happen?
That's why I was trying to explain that first, but you guys.
Really? Oh, well, you did. You did a terrible job because if you really understood that, you would understand that a sun moving over a flat Earth locally would do that. It would change size. Yeah.
No, it wouldn't. For the same. No.
Yes.
It would.
What are you basing that argument? I'm saying no. You're saying yes.
I'm basing the argument on the illustration she's ignoring. There's balls that are closer, that are all the same size, and then when the balls get further away, the balls get smaller in our perception, just like everything else in physics. Okay? And that's exactly why we know that the sun is not local.
What's your evidence for saying yes?
She's looking right at my evidence, and she knows now that she knows the chat can't see the evidence, so she's not going to talk about the evidence that she's looking right at. That's dishonest. Might not be that intellectual. I agree with you. She's not intellectually dishonest. She's just dishonest.
Experience.
So you have no evidence. You only have subjective.
Are you talking to me or him? I mean, because I've got better answers. I don't like his answers for my fucking questions.
Well, who am I debating?
You asked me. This is a debate between us, right?
No, I'm only debating one person. I can't do both.
Well, then you were never to be talking to him in the first place, then.
It's too frustrating. I just one person.
Thank you. Then yes, I can.
I'd rather it be Lewis.
Representing. No, you're not gonna talk to Lewis. Sorry about that.
Why?
This is a debate between you and I, and you know.
No, you're not gonna just jump out
it
and
is.
get to
That's
Lewis.
what we came in here to do. Everybody saw it.
All the work I did getting your junk crappy ass in
You
here.
can't change your mind in the middle of a debate. I am being reasonable. You're
An
being
unreasonable
reasonable.
person, though. You're making these wild.
You have to deal. It's like mama chicken in front of the baby chickens when the wolf comes around. We can start trying to fuck around and make a bunch of noise and not talk about the subject when it's feeding.
Hey, talking over each other probably isn't helpful, and it's probably annoying to people in chat. So I'm gonna try to not.
Then shut your mouth.
We've got you in a position right now. Well, I've had you in this position the whole time, and I'm just going to give it to you right now. Okay, the sun and the moon don't change diameter because they're not local on the flat Earth map. They're going around a sphere, and on the spherical model, it's consistent because the spherical model suggests that they remain relatively the same distance from each other because it's orbiting. The planet is spinning around and orbiting at the same time. So it's not
I know
changing
the standard
distance.
model,
So
and I know that you can the standard model, and I think that that's really
Fucking cunt interrupting me while I'm talking. She gets to yappity yap 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 forever, right? Oh, no.
awesome that
See, I don't put up with that bullshit.
you learn the standard model well enough to exceed it. I
So
think
you
that
know
that's
you wouldn't be able to control yourself. And then you don't blame it on me that you can't have a discussion about it.
okay. Sorry,
Red, that's really gross. The condescension there. That's really disgusting.
go ahead. Finish
You've been doing this to me the whole time. And so when I started back with the sweethearts and the Huns, that wasn't me starting it. That was just me dishing it back. You're
Okay,
speaking about all that other stuff, and then the way you talk to me is ridiculous.
Okay,
Especially when you don't even know who I am, for real.
Okay, Fred. Yeah,
I literally probably taught you in high school. You
condescending.
really don't know who you're talking to. Move along. Again, you can't demonstrate anything that you said you could.
So
I
what's
asked
your
you,
what's your evidence?
what's your favorite evidence? You never could give it to me yet.
No, I'm asking you if you just made a statement, and I'm saying on what evidence are you making that statement?
Which one of the rebuttals do you want me to go after? The one that you said that the vanishing point is at the horizon for a 300-mile altitude thing? Let's take a look at how that would work out for you.
I didn't say that.
What is the vanishing point? There's where
I
you're looking.
never brought up a 3,000-mile altitude, not once.
Because you're saying you're preserving your ad hoc
You're not
abilities.
arguing with me. You're arguing with random flat Earth
No,
YouTubers.
I'm arguing flat Earth altogether. Any
Random
piece of
flat
flat
Earth
Earth
YouTubers. I'm here to debate something reasonable, not something that someone
You
else.
just finished telling me that the reason why I see the sun go over the horizon is you made the claim, sweetness. You're going to say you didn't? You literally just said the reason I see the sun going over the horizon was due to my perspective of the vanishing point and the, you wish-washy, arbitrary word salad nonsense.
It's not word salad. It only seems
Yes,
like
it is.
salad because you don't have the capacity to grasp the concepts being
Again,
expressed.
we clearly saw who has the capacity or not.
Huh.
I have the capacity.
I have the capacity.
Like, to me, this is frustrating to be arguing with someone who's so. I hate to use the word idiots, but like, if you're going to use sweetheart, I'm going to be honest with you.
No, honey, not if you're going to use the word sweetheart. It's that you've already been using the word idiot. So if you're going to use the word idiot, it's that I'm going to use the word sweetheart. It's not that you are now lashing back at me as if I initiated the fucking rudeness. But you see how she tried to re-editorialize that, guys? Little bitch.
Little bitch.
It's so frustrating because you can't even understand the basics, and rather than provide any evidence for your point of view, you're using...
As if I'm not showing her the evidence right now for exactly the point of view. You can't see it here, but I can...
Objective experience, saying, I see it with my eyes, and therefore it has to be true. That's such nonsense.
Well, see, I said that.
That's not fun for me. Well, it's fun for you. You love arguing. You love basketball. You like arguing. It makes you feel important. This is not fun for me. And
Oh yeah, I love arguing with flat earthers. It really boosts my self-esteem. You got that.
I thought it would be something more interesting.
Nobody's
This
perfect.
is just idiocy. It's just, I'm hitting my
Isn't it
head.
though? It really is. Yeah, everything you've said was pretty much idiocy.
One
Are
of
you
the
done with your assault? Because you're like Varuk assault all of a sudden. It's like ad hom, no facts, no model, nothing to support my bullshit. Ad hom. That's all I do gotta do.
Nag, never talking about shit, just the nag, peck, noise, soundbite, noise, peck.
Shut the fuck up and say something, or shut the fuck up.
None of this is wrong.
It's clear. Orphan doesn't want to talk to Grimby about pretty much anything. That's very clear.
I'm not
I regret. I wish you would, obviously. But if you're gonna leave rather than talk to Grimby, I think I'd want to get.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to hijack.
Out of you.
You're gonna let her hijack the show, and then we're not going. We ain't down with that shit.
Alright, guys, I'm back.
This is how you let them control the.
Here's what I'm showing her. She's acting like I'm not showing her this stuff.
This is a social game.
I'm trying to show her. See the balls here? They're bigger, and then they get smaller. Just like everything else does in the entire universe.
Because I don't take it up the ass like
It moves away from you. That is just a law of observation of physics. That's all that is. No big deal. Simple stuff. Here's the hallway.
So, Grim, is this more of a thing about feminism? Is this the way you see it? Yep.
It's like boo hiss.
And you
Social game instead of the facts.
right.
Now it's a like contest. I have to like you in order to have the debate with you.
You're not debating.
Oh yeah, I've completely
Here's the logarithm.
Demolished your.
They're equal lengths, but they
ideas about
look
how we can't prove this is
shorter.
true. And I haven't even been able to present any of my
As they get
evidence
farther
yet.
away.
I have a ton of evidence. I'm ready to start the actual debate whenever you are.
Can I
I'm
have
ready to start the debate. You busy and hung up on ad hom attacks, sweet
This
love.
is the picture of the moon not changing size as it's supposedly getting farther and farther away from
Stupid,
you,
you said.
which is complete evidence of nonsense since we're still looking at the same angle of the moon in the first place.
Brett, every time you start to complain that you're not being given a platform to express your ideas, that is the platform to express your ideas. And instead of doing that,
There's
you're
why I said
complaining that you
3,000
don't
mile
have that
altitude,
platform,
because
okay? Now, you
obviously
have it.
that's your perspective.
Look, he's talking over me constantly. And
Oh, shut up and
It
just
never
stop.
reaches the
Rather
ground
than pointing that out, just
on a flat
continue.
Earth. You'll never be looking at the horizon
here's the
at
thing,
something
I'm not like
300,000
you.
miles
To
away.
me, when someone says, "Oh, shut up and just talk,"
Hi.
like he just like to me, this
You
is
gotta get some thicker skin.
Hyper victimized little girl.
adrenaline or whatever it is that you get out of this.
Fake voice doesn't.
Like,
And
they're
there's
still
your
fucking
moon and
talking.
there's your
You're
Earth.
asking
Welcome to
questions,
reality.
Dylan.
Yeah, you're not saying anything important. You're just bitching.
You're talking over me right now.
You're just bitching.
Who cares if you're a bitch?
Chad.
Guys, this is really just this is for you guys.
I know,
put this
dude.
thing out for you to have an
being a little
adult discussion. I thought you could have it civilly without continue interrupting each other, and I was just going to let you do what you want, but obviously it doesn't work out that way, does it?
I would not have gone on Green's channel, and I would not have gone on.
It does without whiny little fucking teenage voices from 30-something-year-old women.
Facilitate, so it wouldn't end up being this shit show of nonsense. That's why I came on. I didn't come on here to have to.
She doesn't hold her own responsibility in this show at all.
you would keep it civil.
You thought you could manipulate the nice guys into bullshit.
Yeah, she came on to make a shit show. Because, I mean, she literally started off with shit show talking. You know, I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. What's your best evidence? Now, and it's been shit show, nasty, nasty shit show ever since. Just tell me the evidence, lady. Shut the fuck up with all that nasty shit show shit. What the hell are you trying to do? Why did you turn it into such a shit show if you didn't want to be on a shit show? Because that's all you did was nag, 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 and nag, 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 and say dumb things and be rude and call people idiots. Of course you don't want to talk to me. I just spanked your ass. You just got spanked. You're still going to get spanked. You're still getting spanked. You just got spanked again today.
Exchange ideas, but we're not exchanging ideas. We're just exchanging.
I'm just trying to stay objective, Orphan. I'm just trying to take a step back and let...
You see Timmy's dumbass in the chat. Give me the link. I'll play Captain Save-A-Ho, Shining White Knight. I'll show these morons. Talking all this dumb shit. Dude, we already know you're a fucking shill. Shut your mouth, you little twerp.
Use guys,
Who you bullshit?
You don't want to get in my motherfucking
well, for
face
me,
when this
Orphan,
shit's
for me, it's
happening.
interesting
Coming
to
white
listen to
knighting for
both
the
of you of
bitch.
your arguments. It's
Acting
interesting
like
to
she's
even hear
innocent or something.
why you interrupt each other. To me, it's interesting to listen to why you are even squabbling in the first place. It's like you have got built up tension. It's like you have both got built up tension over other issues than flat Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my defense there, GED, I'm just only responding to her very rude, condescending, and ad hom attacks, calling us idiots, calling me an idiot, way before any of this presenting of any
called
real
me a
arguments or
lunatic and
anything.
shit
She's
in the
already
chat.
flashing right to, well, I can dumb it down for you, and, well, you're such an idiot, and it's frustrating, and, you know,
You
just
can't
all
even
of these
grasp.
very rude things. And no one was talking to her with that sort of disrespect. You got to make sure that's why I'm playing this whole thing back so people can see. Yeah, little Tim Osmond's a little bitch, man. He started acting all like, oh, you shouldn't talk to her like that. Like, I'm gonna let anybody step all over me, Timmy. Fuck you, dude. Pay the fuck attention. Don't come up here tripping on acid talking a bunch of shit like a little fucking snowflake, homie. Nobody's got time for that bullshit. Come on, son.
Talk over me the whole time and then demand that everybody respect it when she's talking like some school teacher in the room. She doesn't get pecking order like that. You don't just, I'm a girl, so you have to be nice to me, but I can step and shit all over you with my heels. That doesn't work, okay? So you're going to have to be polite to us, just like you're acting like you need us to be polite to you. Well, you show it first, okay? And then, of course, I'll show it. I was showing it, even when throughout this whole time, when you started off being condescending to me, talking about how, well, it doesn't matter. If you're going to, you know,
Okay.
No.
Wow. Okay. Interrupt me again, you little tramp.
Excuse me, don't interrupt me again. Thank you.
So it's just a
I
monologue.
don't have to talk to you like that, like a child, but you're behaving like
I
that.
wanted to hear some
Cooks like a
monologuing
chicken,
out
he
here.
said.
Hey, Red, we don't like your monologuing either, but we sit there and listen to it because, oh, gosh, it just won't end.
Yeah,
Thanks.
but that's the thing, though, that you can choose to, but I'm choosing not to. Jed, I'm sorry, but this is not interesting to me. It's not fun. It's
You're
just...
making it that way, Brad, okay? If that were true, you would simply have just left a long time ago rather than repeating yourself over and over and saying that you're not interested and this is a waste of time.
Right.
Like,
Because I'm hoping Jed would take the initiative and maybe kind of set some boundaries. But if Jed, you're prepared to just...
Jed has already said that he has set this up to just see kind of what happens, and his assumption was that it would be more or less civil, and
I
we would
misunderstood.
self-govern ourselves, okay?
About an exchange of ideas. I didn't realize it was just going to be about Grim being an idiot and calling me sweetheart. Like,
I don't see it as being that way as it is, so you're wrong there. I would contend.
I'm wrong. Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that was
About that.
fun, and I really don't want to do that again. I'm glad I learned so much about the globe model and why the Earth is a globe. You guys did a really great job convincing me
Well,
your point of view is
why
correct.
don't
You haven't hit my facts yet. You've been interrupting me the whole time.
Why don't you think
You've
you
controlled the
that's
narrative
true?
the whole time, sweetness. All right?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I brought my whole presentation. You didn't even see. All you saw was the cover page.
She wasted so much time just insulting people and complaining about how she couldn't say anything. And it's like, well, instead of saying something, you're complaining about never getting the opportunity.
Exactly, Lewis. The first thing she said out of her mouth was a passive-aggressive insult at me. I'll repeat what she said verbatim, like I'm stupid enough so I can't remember what she said. She said, well, if we're going to sit here and you're going to, I'm not going to sit here and make a fool out of you while you sit here and try to make a fool out of me.
Well, apparently she did.
Like, of course, she's going to fuck me over, but I'm going to only try to fuck her back, right? Exactly. It was already in the wording. She's setting up this bullshit going on with the whole thing. So it's an attack while she's demanding that others behave. She's actually, while she's doing it, she's throwing fire out of her mouth and blowing it all over people. As if it's not a game. So you come in here acting like a little snatch, I'll treat you like a little snatch.
I don't think you would have even had to say anything with these pictures up here with the sun and moon and the hallway. Like, you could just scroll up and down that, and that'd be all you need to do.
Right, and she tried to pick apart the little crack in a joke over the fucking light, as if, really? Like I've ever had an argument about overground. I was just cracking a joke. I said, well, it proves there's curvature. I mean, really? Because look, you're going down a hill.
But there are pictures like that. Soundly's taken quite a few, actually, where there's like power lines going out into the ocean or a big body of water or something. And you can, you've probably seen it. Yeah.
So, Mr. Grim,
Hey, GED.
just call me Jed, man. Jed. With Orphan Red, I take it you've watched quite a bit of her.
Say again?
Have you watched quite a lot of Orphan Red?
A lot of her? No, I don't even know her.
Nah, you must have had some kind of idea of how she presents herself and how she speaks.
Yeah, I did.
Everybody knows Orphan Red in the Flat Earth.
Yesterday. Yeah, I scrolled through her channel yesterday, bro.
So, I don't know, man. I felt you already had this. I felt you already had this grudge against her before the discussion even started.
Oh, no, well, yeah, because of the way she was talking to me in the chat immediately. She was already like, oh, you don't know shit what you're talking about. You need to do research. I automatically... That's when people start talking like that, they're literally being condescending. They're being rude. They're being stupid. Because, I mean, I have done the research. I've got the best arguments that I've heard about this whole thing, like, compiled. Right? So you can give me anything. Foucault pendulum, gyroscope. We can talk about all of this shit.
Obviously. So, yeah, I thought it'd be fun to expose the Orphan Red nonsense that happened a while back. Not too long ago, but a little bit ago. I gotta fire up the barbecue grill, guys. It's been in a couple hours with you again today. You take care, y'all. Thanks. And no, it's not really so much about flat Earth, Evie. It's more about integrity in the community. Just people who choose to engage and campaign against you. Sometimes they need to be smacked back. Just smack them back a little bit. They don't really mean anything. They just, smack Orphan Red in their mouth, metaphorically. There you go. And plus, this is my channel, basically. I do whatever the hell I want anyway. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to spend a couple of days fucking with flat earthers, I'll do that because it's my channel. I can do whatever I want. I don't owe anybody anything, and I pretty much spend all of my time trying to help educating people on particularly issues that I find particularly important. Many other people may not find them very important, but I do, and I put a lot of work and effort into it for free. You know, so basically, like, my time is mine. I'll do whatever the hell I want to do on my channel, you know what I mean? Cool, cool. Alright then, y'all. Have a good day. Take care, Lee. Thanks, Cherry. Also, Dud. You're welcome for the distraction, I tell you.